Time for the big boys to step up, as opposed to the alternative, being stepped on. Wing and a prayer. Detroit looks to avoid the sweep against the Mighty Ducks in Minnesota. Burnaby Joe goes all out to tame the Wild. Leafs Flyers, all sorts of hitting, all sorts of emotion, and a marathon of a game that left everyone tuckered out. The end of the line for MJ. Folks, we sincerely hope you fall head over heels for this show. Sportsnet News, it's next.
From the Sportsnet studios, here is John Taylor.
Hey, good everyone, I'm Don Taylor. This is the news. We all know how much the Canucks' #1 line struggled during Vancouver's first 3 games against the Blues. So you just knew Mark Crawford had to do something to break the big boys out of their slump. The Canucks began Game 4 by breaking up Marcus Naslund, Brendan Morrison, and Todd Bertuzzi. Naslund and Morrison playing with Trevor Linden, Bertuzzi with the Sedins. With 0 goals in 3 games, the top trio couldn't argue with the move. The Savage Center, here we are. Chris Osgood faced just 14 shots in game number 3. As for Dan Cloutier, hey, nothing wrong with the way this guy's performed in the playoffs. First period, here's Cloutier out to play the puck. Some classic miscommunication here with Brent Sopel as the Canucks here to get away with one. Still no score. Then Marcus Naslund looking for his first goal of the series. He finds it with the long-range floater. Hey, Marcus will take it. 1-0 Vancouverites, and they keep it coming. Trevor Linden barreling in, partial break. His backhand turned aside by the fellow former Medicine Hat Tiger Chris Osgood. Blues power play. Keith Tkachuk comes out front. He gets stopped by Dan Cloutier. Stays 1-0 Canucks after 1. Second period now. Pavel Demitra. Now the ring speed. Waits, feeds Martin Raczynski, fires it off the post. Look at Demitra. He thought that baby was in. Tried to sell it. No go. Blues keep coming, though. Valerie Bure to Chris Pronger. Just kind of throws it at the net. Oh, he scores. Off the post, off Cloutier, and in a screen. Cloutier, I might add. 1-1. Now Bertuzzi to Brandon Reed, the speedster. Foiled by Chris Osgood. It remains tied at 1. Later on, Blues with the 2-on-1. Doug Waite to Dallas Drake, and the man wearing Tony McKegney's old number 10 makes it 2-1 Blues after 2. Third period, Blues on the power play. Doug Waite, his point shot. Off the iron. More Blues offense. Dallas Drake to Marty Raczynski. What a game for the BC boy, Dallas Drake. 3-1 St. Louis. Dallas, of course, from trail moments later. Matt Cook in close. Osgood with the denial. He was pretty good tonight. Blues, he's been pretty good all series. Blues continue to press. Marty Raczynski, backhander, beating Cloutier. Blues with a stunning 3-1 stranglehold on the Canucks. St. Louis over Vancouver, 4-1. Marcus Naslund's goal was the first even-strength marker by the Canucks in this series. Canucks outshooting the Blues 33-20, making amends for that 14-shot performance the other night. I guess they didn't make amends. They lost. Doug Waite and Pavel Demitra have combined for 5 goals and 6 assists so far in this series. Blues were get this stat, the Blues a league best 22-15-3-6 in the regular season when giving up the game's first goal, something they did tonight. We go back to the Savage Center and Dan Murphy.
One of the Vancouver Canucks' objectives heading into Game 4 was to get more shots through to Chris Osgood. Mission accomplished. Unfortunately, they couldn't get any more shots by Chris Osgood, as the St. Louis Blues goaltender was outstanding from start to finish and really was a difference in this hockey game.
Osgood played real well for him and made some big saves. And, you know, sometimes games go like that, and we just have to keep our heads up and look forward to Friday night and play well Friday.
I just try and stay focused on the puck, like I said. Just really be sharp and not make any mistakes or not come out of the net unnecessarily.
Better effort from our side. It might sound funny, but I think we had enough chances to put them away. Osgood played well. I give him credit for that, but I don't think the series is over. I think we mean, if we keep playing like this, we're going to win more times than not.
I thought it was our best game in the series. We had a lot of great chances. Obviously, Osgood played really well tonight.
The Vancouver Canucks blue line took a hit in Game 4 as Sammy Salo was slashed in the wrist by Corey Stillman late in the first period. Now, Salo came out for one shift in the second, but did not return after that, and Mark Crawford said he'll be reevaluated on Thursday. Other than that, the objective for the Vancouver Canucks now is simple: win 3 straight, or the season is over. Dan Murphy, Sportsnet, St. Louis, Missouri.
All right, thanks, Murph. Now, while Dan Cloutier is not the reason for the Canucks' predicament, he has been outplayed by Chris Osgood, at least statistically. The Blues netminder has allowed only 4 goals on 90 shots, while Cloutier has given up 13 goals on 99 shots for an .869 save percentage. Look at Osgood's percentage, .956. But Osgood's dominance shouldn't come as a surprise. He is now 15-2-4 lifetime against Vancouver. Canucks and Blues headed back to Vancouver for Game 5 now. That goes Friday at GM Place. Take note of the start time, 6 o'clock Pacific. Game 6, if necessary, is slated for Sunday back in St. Louis at 4 o'clock. Game 7 would be back in Vancouver on Tuesday night at 7:30. All this leads to our power poll. We ask you, who's been the best player for the Blues in their series with the Canucks? We eliminated a couple of players here, Dmitry Ruchinski, Nash not included, but we're going with these 5. Chris Osgood, Doug Waite, my pick, Dallas Drake, Chris Pronger, or Barrett Jackman. A couple of BC boys in there, Drake and Jackman. You want to take part, cast your vote at sportsnet.ca. Now here's an update on Al MacInnis. He once again did not play for the Blues tonight. Reports say he might not be back for this series. St. Louis newspaper says MacInnis could be out for at least 2 weeks with his separated right shoulder. You remember MacInnis was injured in Game 2 when he was hammered into the boards at GM Place by Todd Bertuzzi. Elsewhere around the NHL, in Minnesota, Avalanche, Wild, Patty Wawa, and the Avs trying to go up 3-1. Early first, loose puck. It bounces to Cliff Ronning, his shot. Ramon gets a piece of it, and just enough. Then, Peter Forsberg. Forsberg to Joe Sakic from his knee, shot and a goal. 1-0 Colorado. Joe's really coming on. Moments later, Avs power play. What are they to say about Joe Sakic? Again, it's the Burnaby one. Walks in. 2 goals and 154 for Joe. 2-0 Avs. Manny Fernandez comes in to relieve Dwayne Rollison. The Wild, perhaps sparked, get a chance. Richard Park at side of the net off the post. Stays 2-0. Middle stanza. Anti-Laxinen. Laxinen across to Richard Park. Not a problem for Wawa. Later, Peter Forsberg. Stopped by Fernandez. Rebound Tanguay. Stopped by Fernandez. Manny Fernandez keeping the Wild hopes alive. We go to period 3. Off the turnover here. Sergei Zol talked to Marian Gaborik. Roy says no. Late third period now. Wild power play. Marian Gaborik threw a screen, and in Gaborikian fashion, he makes it a 2-1 hockey game. Just over a minute later, love Roy's reaction there. Joe Sakic, Shiriku Hall, stopped by Fernandez, but Dan, high note, shovels in the rebound. Avs up in the Wild 3-1. Same score in the series. Marian Gaborik's goal snapped Patrick Roy's shutout streak at 117 minutes and 56 seconds. Joe Sakic had only 1 goal in his last 9 regular season games. He has 4 so far in the postseason. Colorado has outscored Minnesota 9-3 after losing the series opener 4-2.
Where else would I go from Toronto? And maybe they were playing that card. Is he going to leave? He won't leave. I don't know.
Who won the gamble?
We'll see in June.
You know what, Cujo, we could see in April. Detroit and Anaheim, Game 4. Cujo and the boys hoping to avoid the sweep. J.S. Jaguar, man, he's been good. First period, Ducks get sloppy. Peter Sikora turns it over. Brett Hull to Henrik Zetterberg. Nothing Jaguar could do there. 1-0 Red Wings. Minute 45 later, Matthew Dandino, high sticks. Peter Sikora on the delayed penalty. Ducks go up place. Adam Oates cross ice to Paul Guerrero. His second of the series, 1-1. Now take a look on the replay here at the poor effort by Dandino. All he needed to do was touch the puck to stop play. He didn't, and it led to the Korea mark. That is lazy. Second period, Wings on the rush. Sergei Fedorov down the wing, wires the shot. Stopped by J.A. Shakir. Got the glove on it. Fedorov, what do we have to do to beat this guy? Wings had 12 shots in the second. Couldn't convert one of them. We're in the third now. Keith Kearney dumping it in. Jason Krog. His shot. Cujo just trying to get out of the way there. 2-1 Ducks. Krog, of course, the former Chilliwack Chief. Wings desperately needing a goal. Fedorov, nice move, walks in. Can't do anything about J.A. Shakir. Wild scramble in front. Shakir losing his helmet, but he comes up with the puck Hasek style. Less than 3 minutes to go. Fedorov steals the biscuit, throws it out front, goes off Haviland's stick and in. Tied at 2. We go to overtime, 7 minutes into it.
Comes in. Joseph makes the save. Can't cover it up. From behind the goal, Carney for Ruchin. It's good! Steve Ruchin of the Ducks have eliminated the defending Stanley Cup Playoffs champion Red Wings. Oh my!
Oh my, indeed. Who would have guessed this? Anaheim, as Steve Ruchin plays overtime hero, defeats Detroit 3-2 to sweep this thing. Detroit becomes the first defending Stanley Cup champ to be swept in the opening round since, trivia fans, the 1952 Toronto Maple Leafs. Jean-Sébastien Giguère makes 165 saves on 171 shots in this series, good enough for a save percentage of .965. Again, Anaheim with the sweep over Detroit. Do you think the Red Wings miss Hasek and Bowman? Yes, I'd say they do. T.O. we go. Flyers Leafs. They may have lost McGillney, but the Leafs get Travis Green back after missing 9 games with cracked ribs. First period, Darcy Tucker runs into Roenick. That's a little bit late. No penalty on the play. JR lets Tucker know how he feels. That would be not happy. Leafs shorthanded. Brian McCabe down the wing. Cross ice feed to Travis Green. Welcome back, TJ. Top shelf from up keeps the peanut butter. 1-1. Second period. Flyers coming out strong. 54 seconds in. Belfort coughs it up. Jeremy Roenick from the bad angle. Oh, the Eagle would like to have that whole playback. 2-1 Fly. Scary moment for the Leafs. Keith Primo goes to the net, gets tangled up with Brian McCabe. Primo lands on Belfort. Belfort was shaken up on the play. Leafs, though, breathe a sigh of relief. The Eagle was okay. Third period, Leafs power play. Glenn Wesley to Matt Sundin.
On the goal strike by number 13, Sundin. Assist number 22, Wesley. And number 8, Jack Valaket.
Flyers on a 4-minute power play. Amonte shot bounces in front. Off Ed Belfort. Roenick can't jam it in. The Leafs would kill off the penalty. In overtime. 2 minutes in. Michael Hanges at the side of the net. Has Ed Belfort down. No, ain't gonna happen. Bob Clark, armpit stains and all. He thought the game was over. Great end-to-end action. Matt Sundin. And it rolls like gorgeous. Great moves. Can't slide it by Chuck Manick, though. Second overtime period. Off the face-up. Darcy Tucker alone in front. Chuck Manick looking like a modern-day Bernie Perron. Final minute. John LeClaire down the wing. The shot. Belfort juggles it but makes the save. His 56th straight save as Clarkey sweats away. Third overtime period just over 6 minutes in. Mark Recchi gathering speed. He takes the shot. Belfort gets a piece, but not enough. It slides in. Oh, they love that in Kamloops. Bobby Clark loves it. Mark Recchi with his 4th of the playoffs. Flyers win 3-2. Series tied at a deuce. This was Toronto's 3rd longest game in club history. Their longest since 1943. Leafs were outshot by the Flyers. 75-38. Yeah, Ed Belfort had a pretty good game. He gave up 2 bad goals, but overall, you had to say, he had a pretty good game. Belfort set the modern-day record for saves in a game with 72. Ron Tugnutt held the previous record with 70 set in 1991. Let's hear from the hero.
We deserve this one tonight, and we'll try and get some rest and get ready for Saturday. Hopefully we can build on this momentum and go home and take care of home ice advantage.
You had a reason for getting this one over early, did you? I mean, that's before tomorrow.
I got to get home. I got to have a child in the morning, so my wife's going to have a child, and greatest thing in life. I'm looking forward to it.
Boy, congratulations all around to Mark Recchi. Senators, Islanders, Mike Pekka. Pointless in his the first 3 games of this series. Against an Ottawa team looking for a 3rd straight win in a 3-1 series lead. First period, 28 seconds in. Mike Fisher makes it 1-0 for the visiting Senators. Senators on the rush now. Vaclav Varada to Anton Volchenkov. From behind the net, banks it off, snowing in. Just like that, it's 2-0 Ottawa. Pete Lavalette, not impressed. Sens get physical. Chris Neal runs over Jason Blake. Everything going right for the Senators early. Adrian Coyne played nearly 40 minutes in game number 3. Second period here, Senators can't clear, and look who's at the point. Adrian Coyne scores! Through traffic is first of the series. Isles down 2-1. Ottawa power play now. Marian Hossa. The centering pass goes off Oleg Kavasha and in. Senators were good at the bank shots tonight. 3-1 Sens in the road red with the black and white trim. A little bit of gold there. Havlet gets robbed by Snow, stays 3-1. Senators looking to shut down the Islanders in period number 3. No kidding. Blake turning it over here. Jason Blake out front to Radek Martinek. He hands on it. What's going on there, Radek? Late in the third, Kenny Johnson, his point shot. Dave Scatchard. He tips it in, but it was ruled off because of the high stick. It's one of those nights, the New York Islanders, the Senators, tripping up the New Yorkers by a score of 3-1. Ottawa has outscored New York 66-38 in their last 17 visits to the Nassau Coliseum. Sens have not lost during that span, posting a record of 13-0-4. Their last road loss to the Islanders was January 6, 1996.
We wanted to come up flying, like we take over from where we left off in Game 3. And, a couple of big goals to give us the lead, and we never look back from that, really.
I think we know if we get the lead, we're very tough to play against, and especially the first 2 periods, I thought we still went at them, creating scoring chances, and we weren't satisfied with 2. We want to get the third one, and that was a big goal for us.
Tampa Bay in Washington. T-Bay looking to even the series at 2 after their big overtime win last night. First period, Bolts trying to strike first. Brad Richards to Freddie Modine. Nikolai Habibulin makes the save, no score. Through one. Actually, that was Kolzig making the save. What am I talking about? Second period. Lightning catch a break. Peter Bondra gets his stick up on Vincent Lecavalier. Vinny is cut. Peter Bondra gets the double minor. But it's the Caps with the best chances. Short-handed, Trent Whitfield wires the shot. Habibulin makes the save. Got his Habby on it. Lightning on the rush. Martin St. Louis making moves. Maybe the nicest goal in the Stanley Cup Playoffs so far. 1-0 for the Floridian visitors. Caps respond less than 4 minutes later. Jason Doig's point shot tipped by Peter Bondra. 1-1 the score. Scary moment here. Alexander Spitak, knee-on-knee hit on Trent Whitfield. Whitfield was shaken up. Trent Whitfield would head to the Washington Capitals dressing room. Dirty play. Capitals power play now. Dave Andrechuk stealing. Lightning 2-1-1. Andrechuk, the veteran, to Martin St. Louis. Love this little guy. His second of the game. 2-1 Ning. Third period, just a minute and a half in. Off the faceoff, Jason Cullimore, ex-Canuck. His shot stopped, but Lecavalier is there for the rebound. 3-1 Lightning. Another 3-1 score tonight. That's your final. The series tied at 2. Lecavalier, St. Louis, and Vaclav Prost will have combined for 7 goals and 3 assists in the last 2 games. This was the Lightning's first regulation win in the franchise's playoff history. With more on tonight's NHL playoff action, we present the Hockey Central crew.
Don, a season with so much promise now hangs on the outcome of 1 game for the Vancouver Canucks. The Hockey Central panel is here to look back at the night it was. John Garrett watched the Blues and the Canucks from St. Louis. Scott Morrison paid attention to the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Philadelphia Flyers. And that left Ottawa and the New York Islanders, and Nick Kyprios was there monitoring that. Let's go back to Vancouver and St. Louis. And I'll tell you what, John, it looked to me at least like Vancouver had lots of chances, particularly on the power play, but they couldn't capitalize.
Well, they couldn't get them through. They were 0 for 6 on the power play again. They've really had a hard time. They've got 4 goals in this series. Their special teams have to come through. And they just have been getting way too many shots blocked. Trevor Linden takes one here, doesn't look, doesn't get it up, it's blocked. And especially on the power play, Ed Jovanovski gets one back right in the middle, get it by the first guy. And they weren't doing that. And when you're not getting offense, you really have to count on your special teams. And Vancouver's special team, and Sammy Salo went down in the first period. He plays on some power plays. And defensively, Murray Barron had to eat up his minutes, and he was on for the winning goal again.
No doubt that hurt him a bit. The Blues now lead the series 3-1 and can wrap it up on Friday. How much credit are you prepared to give Chris Osgood in the way he's played?
Oh, he was really good again tonight. He didn't have to be great, but on the chances that Vancouver had, the breakaway chances, he was really good early in the first period. Trevor Linden walks in. Osgood makes the save. Brandon Reed is in by himself. Osgood makes the save, controls the rebound. And then in the third period, when the Vancouver Canucks could have made it close, he robbed Matt Cook from point blank. Remember game one?
Yeah.
Didn't get tested much, but they win 6-0. And you can see he was handling the puck. He looked a little erratic, but boy, his confidence has just gotten better and better and better every game.
So I guess your lucky tie wasn't so lucky.
Another
3-1.
But I didn't bring that many. I'm running out of time.
You may have to go to a tank top for Game 5.
Scott, fans in Toronto certainly got their money's worth yet again. The Philadelphia Flyers and the Maple Leafs going into triple overtime. Mark Recchi's first career playoff overtime goal in 18 tries, but he was the difference.
Well, he opened and closed the scoring on what was indeed a very long night, 113 minutes and 54 seconds, and there is the winner, a one that Ed Belfour would obviously like to get back for a number of reasons. It seemed to squeak between the pads and trickle across the goal line, but really this game had no business going as long as it did because Philadelphia was the better team from start to finish. They limited to Toronto to just 10 shots through regulation time. Meantime, when it was all said and done, they had 75 on Belfour. Obviously, the Recchi one is one he would have liked to have had back, as we said. He was a little bit unlucky on the other goals earlier tonight as well because he was caught at the side of the net on one and then wandering a little on the second. But between those, he was just absolutely brilliant. Philly also had 8 power plays, including a 4-man advantage in the third period in which they could have put this game away, but Toronto just kept hanging on, and forced the overtime and had chances themselves to win it.
One of the worst parts of the job, though, Scott, is they don't talk about the 72 that you stopped. They talk about the 3 that went in, and the first 2...
And he was brilliant.
Yeah, he was brilliant, but 3 bad goals. And the games that Philly has lost, it's been Roman Cechmanek down at the other end who has let in the bad goals. And tonight, Ed had 3 bad goals again.
Nick in Uniondale, Ottawa, and the Islanders. Ottawa picking up the victory 3-1. They lead the series now 3-1 and can wrap it up tomorrow. All about speed for the Ottawa Senators. I think it's been that way all season long, and Mike Fisher was a great example.
You're absolutely right. Vintage Ottawa Senators, they do it with speed right off the bat. For all intent and purposes, this game was over 4.5 minutes into it. Fisher with just an absolute bullet. And then again, that team speed we saw all during the regular season comes through again. Volchenkov on a terrible angle that made it 2-0, and the New York Islanders never got a sniff after that. They started the second period with a goal, and they came out with pretty good jam, and then they saw Eric Cairns take a bad penalty, and what did the Ottawa Senators do? Well, they capitalized on that opportunity, and then they shut them down in the third period. Just 6 shots on goal for the New York Islanders. That is classic Ottawa Senators hockey.
Well, the New York Islanders definitely up against it, obviously, as they face elimination. They will do that tomorrow night against the Ottawa Senators. We'll set the scene on Hockey Central. The Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars are also set for Game 5. It is now a best-of-3, and the Oilers will go in without the likes of Radek Dvorak, who is down with a broken hand. Join us for Hockey Central. Now back to Sportsnet News.
The NHL Playoff Report, brought to you by Molson Canadian. It's a Canadian game.
Up next, an NBA legend above all NBA legends says goodbye. And Alfred Jackson shopping himself around the...
Nunez, the referee.
Oh, they love Michael everywhere. Fourth quarter, Michael gets back in, hits a couple of freebies. Jordan's last points of his NBA career. Michael leads to what else? The standing O. Yeah, I think he's going to be missed. The Sixers, though, won this game. Did they ever? 107-87. Not the way Michael was looking to go out, I'll tell you that. Jordan finished with 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in 28 minutes. He also had 263 standing ovations. In case you're counting, Michael Jordan plays 1,072 NBA regular season games. He shot just about 50% for his career and finishes with an average of just over 30 points a game.
I feel like, we've been a great relationship. It's been like my best friend, and obviously sometimes you got to grow up and move away from your best friend. But it's always going to be there in my mind, and nothing's going to erase what I've attained just by having basketball as a friend. As much as I love the game, there's other components that needs my love, needs my attention, and I can easily walk away. But I had no intention when I left North Carolina that I would be playing at the age of 40. I never took the game for granted. I was very true to the game, and the game was very true to me. It was just that simple.
Meanwhile, the Mavericks were 93-72 winners over the Spurs. Dirk Nowitzki finishes with 25 points, 10 boards, 6 helpers. Steve Nash, 9 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. As the Mavs get their franchise record 60th win, Dallas and San Antonio both finished 60 and 22. The Spurs win the West on the tiebreaker, which is a conference record. That's what I'm saying, yeah. LA, as in the Lakers at Golden State, Kobe needs 43 points to average 30 points per game for the year. First quarter, Kobe drives the lane, lays it in. Lakers up by a tray. Second quarter, time winding down. The Cobster for 3. The Cobster, yes! At the buzzer. Lakers up 4 at halftime. Third quarter now. Again, it's number 8 in purple, white, and gold. Kobe Bryant. Fast break. Huge dunk. Huge one-handed dunk. Lakers up 9. Fourth quarter, again, it's Kobe Bryant for 3. Kobe Bryant would finish with 44 points. Lakers take it 117-111. The Timberwolves, meanwhile, clinch home court advantage in the opening round. For the first time in their history, they finished with a 95-87 win over the Grizzlies. Grizzlies, yeah, they did set a franchise record for wins, whatever that's worth. I guess it's worth a lot, with 28. Clippers close out their season with a 107-93 victory over the Blazers. Lamar Odom led 5 Clips in double digits with 24 points. Clippers shot 56% from the field. That loss dropped Portland to 6th in the West, so they'll face the grateful, and I mean grateful, Mavericks in the first round of the playoffs. They don't have to meet the Lakers. Lakers climb up to 5th. They'll play Minnesota. The other matchups have San Antonio taking on the Suns, Sacramento versus Utah. Got your Raptors, got your Cavaliers. Yes, in the LeBron Bowl. Second quarter out, the Cavalier miss now. Chris Mihm with the putback. Fourth quarter, Jerome Williams. JYD gets the rebound, not paying attention now. The shot clock violation. Lenny Wilkins can only smile at this point. What else is he going to do? Off the turnover. Smush Parker in alone. Open jam, and he gets it. No, he misses it. That sums it up for both these teams, actually. Lenny and the Raps losing again, 96-86. Eastern Conference playoff matchups are set. Number 1 seed Detroit will face Orlando. Milwaukee will meet last year's Eastern Conference champion, the Nets of New Jersey. Philadelphia will face Boston. Pacers take on the Bugs. Coming up on the big show, the latest on last night's Up Jump. Stick around. Last year, Casey coach Tom Gamboa was the victim of an on-field assault. We all remember that. Yesterday, with the Royals again in town, it was umpire Laz Diaz's turn. No wonder the Royals refused to play tonight's game against the White Sox unless field security was beefed up. In case you missed it last night, Joker, filled with all sorts of liquid courage, jumped onto the field and tried to tackle Laz Diaz. Laz was working first base. This fan was the 4th to get past security and onto the field during last night's game. Diaz escaped without injury. The fan didn't. The fan has been charged with felony aggravated battery and trespassing. And he got a whooping. KC at Chicago tonight. Royals did take to the field tonight to take on the Sox. I guess they did beef up security. Tied at 1 in the 4th. Carlos Lee ground ball. Angel Baroa throw is low. Mike Sweeney can't handle it. Big Hurt scores 2-1 Sox, same inning. Joe Creedy ground ball. Baroa throws it away. Ordonez scores 3-1 White Sox. Thank you very much, says Chicago. Bottom of the ninth, tied at 3. Man on first and third. Big Hurt. It flies out. The throw home. Here it is. It is cut off. Tony Graffinino. He scores. White Sox take it 4-3. Up next, back to the bowels of the Savage Center for more reaction on the Canucks